Hello everybody and welcome back to another update video from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, where we are diving into what I believe is the 4th beta build. I'm on a trip, so I don't remember anymore. Either way, we have a new one. It's 1.6.11.0. Starting off with stability and performance. Fixed a crash in the cabin service system. Fixed career loading screen fading out before HQ models finish loading. Improved material loading to reduce popping during transitions. Fixed a crash in the aircraft simulation. Fixed a crash in the aircraft loading when the flight model CFG file was incomplete or contained incorrect data. And modified display FPS debug to have clear memory statistics. Under general bug fixes, fixed CTD when launching flight with plane containing XML gauge. Fixed third-party custom panels not available outside free flight. Fixed wrong HUD color. Fixed an issue where the World Photographer collection page had a missing button. Fixed regression where the photos couldn't be properly scrolled in the photo album. Fixed an issue where clicking on a tab in the character creator using the mouse would break the navigation using arrow keys or the gamepad. Fixed an issue where wind layers were not affected by the wind effect setting. Fixed an issue where ATC communications could be cropped when replies were displayed. Fixed an issue where the selected livery was not immediately displayed in the free flight page. Fixed an issue where the player could be stuck on the conversation in the communication panel, and fixed randomly incorrect registration number size. Install performance and graphics fixed a culling issue on the edge of the screen that could cause terrain to disappear. Backwards compatibility bug fixes fixed an issue that caused the HUD to sometimes pick up values from the sim despite being updated each frame in model behaviors. Aircraft fixed issue with excessive turbulence and thermals introduced in SU4 beta. For the 737, applied performance optimizations to the rendering of the PFD, MFD, and HUD. Glass cockpits fixed WASM gauge not loading properly after a restart. The G1000 fixed an issue where VPTH would not show when armed in certain scenarios. For the Garmin G3000 and 5000, fixed an issue where the GTC arrival selection page would display a message saying the selected arrival airport was different from the approach airport when the two airports were the same. For the G3X Touch, applied performance optimizations to the rendering of various elements. For the GNS 430 and 530, fixed an issue where the 530 ARC map and the 430 CDI page would not display waypoint data or CI deviation for an off-route direct to. Applies to both 2020 back compat and 24 versions. Fixed an issue where the waypoint text input could cause some pages to become unresponsive and unable to enter a waypoint any longer. The Primus Epic 2.0 improved PFD performance on the ground. And ProLine 21 applied performance optimizations to the rendering of the PFD and MFD. For the EFB, fixed an issue where the map scale bar could sometimes report an incorrect range, changed the pathing of the VFR pattern approach downwind entry to be more consistent with the simulator. Fixed an issue where the calculated length of altitude terminated legs could sometimes be inappropriately long. Increased the maximum zoom level of the map, thank goodness, I'm glad that's back again, because it got really annoying, especially in the agricultural spraying missions, so that's a great change, happy to see that fixed. Increased available space for long leg names. Names that are still too long will also now scroll when they are hovered. Reworked styles to reduce visual noise. Changing the departure or arrival runway will now only auto-select a departure, arrival, and or approach if none were previously selected. Improved formatting of some leg data columns. Leg ETE estimated time en route is now more accurate. Reduced stutters and performance impact when modifications to the flight plan are made. Reworked styles to be more uniform with both the rest of the EFB and the online flight planner. Reduced the memory footprint of the map. Added support for advanced performance planning for turbojet turbofan aircraft. Note that individual aircraft must be specifically configured to support this feature, and as such this feature will initially not be available for all turbojet turbofan aircraft. Added the ability to configure additional parameters for flight planning calculations, whether to use RVSM rules when automatically selecting cruise altitudes, cruise step size, cost index, and fuel bias. Moving on to career, improved automatic pushback to ensure the aircraft is being pushed into the direction of the intended taxi path and closer to the center line. General bug fixes, fixed landing validating when being close to the ground before reaching the helipad, and added a fallback if aircraft collides with a building during the pushback, we trigger the skip to taxi. That's pretty nice, so if that ever really randomly happens, I'm assuming it won't fail you or deduct any points to you. For missions, agricultural aviation fixed an issue causing reduced performance after spraying for a while. Certifications fixed taxi infringed when crossing the runway. World fixed building exclusion from taxiways. And airports modified several aspects of airports' live traffic with ongoing reworks and improvements. Taxi AI, landing conditions, AI spawning and takeoff when data is missing, blocked taxiway. Really happy to see that because, as we know, AI traffic is needing a lot of improvements, so that'll be exciting to test when I get back. But we also have some other airports. I'll just leave that on the screen, and you can check those out. Marketplace filters are now saved between tow sessions when searching in categories or full catalog. For controls, fixed increased throttle and decreased throttle actions not triggering when looking at Avionics display. Fixed the blinking frame when first entering the controls setting menu. And fixed the inputs that were prevented by self-deactivation of a device. And then, as always, we'll leave it with dev mode and SDK. I'll leave those on the screen so you can scrub through those. And there we have it. That is 1.6.11.0 out now. I know this is a bit late, but I'm on a trip. I was out with no service. So, anyways, the video's here. It's fine. So, again, thank you guys so much for the support. Really happy you enjoyed that before and after video over the St. Helena Airport. That was a really fun one to make, and I hope you guys are enjoying the Seafarer, the ship sim videos as well. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and I will talk to you guys next time. See ya.